I was like, gee, I wonder if she knows how to get a hold of anybody outside of Pueblo that they don't have, they're not in cahoots with.
Well, that's what's really hard is you have to start searching outside of the state because all these people, they don't know their law or they're afraid to go in federal court and take cases like this and then not be in the side of the judges and the bad ones because then they get blackballed.
Yeah, and all your posts are blacked out now.
Well, what do you mean by
videos and stuff like that? They're blacked out. Maybe just on my phone because my phone's under surveillance too, as well as my home, as well as my vehicle, everything. You know, so that's why I was wondering, who did you get to assist you? Or are you still battling
the black images ones are recordings, and see, I can't download the app so I can put a picture on so you can see a picture with the voice, and so they just like a black screen. But they're just voicemails.
How long have you been dealing with this?
This has been going on
getting harassed.
This has been going on for 4 years for me. They threaten my family. They threaten my friends, my practitioners. They false reported stuff to even get my doctors to try to be their license to be revoked unconstitutionally and illegally. They just made up all these major lies about them. Even my friends, to try to get them killed, pretty much.
Pretty much, you're right. And so what do you do when they harass your doctors? Like they tell your doctors, they play the soundbite where I cuss them out, they convince them to not see me as a physician, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the primary thing is you're going to have to hold your tongue a little bit. I mean, you could tell them they're incompetent. Use different words like you're feckless, you're peril, you're caustic, you're incompetent, you're uneducated. But if you start saying, like, fuck you, then they'll press charges on you.
That got me in trouble. That's why I'm in hot water as we speak.
But it's hard. It's hard, I know, because they provoke you.
Right, they do, and they have me listed as a terrorist to everybody, to the schools, the teachers, the principals. That's why the lady, Constance Jones, when I wanted to approach her about the situation, how they're mistreating my children at school, she resigned. Bam, just like that. No explanations from nobody knowing, because she gave the federal government, like, carte blanche, go ahead and destroy this girl's life right here.
Yeah, the FBI in this area has been under major watch by the headquarters because they have been racketeering and doing a lot of illegal takes of properties, killing people. You know, just because they're FBI, not all of them are good. And they're trying to weed out their house too. So we have to stay strong. It's a process that they're going to start just dominoing all this stuff and getting a bunch of people out.
So there's really nothing we can do as citizens with the harassment then? I'm going to have to just live with this forever and ever, amen?
No, you got to go public. You got to start videotaping, make it public. We all have to start joining together, doing We the People petitions. We have to keep a paper trail going and have to keep publicly smearing them everywhere in a, stern but polite, respectful manner without being... The hardest part is holding your tongue. It's the hardest part. Because they have hurt your children. They tried to take your life. Of course you're going to say, fuck you, go to hell. You know? But you can't. You can't.
I found it out.
Yep.
But I felt so bad because they had all the surveillance on me. They still do. But the code that was missing Casey Schilling, I felt horrible because they did nothing to try to find that girl 5 years ago. Well, I mentioned that, and all of a sudden they're digging up the boys' backyard. They're doing this and trying to play it off like they're doing so much. And I went to the congressman here, Cory Gardner's office, and I said, I really feel bad because all that surveillance that was on me, they could have sent 6 officers to go check her out to make sure she was all right, to find her, to do something. All of a sudden, they started doing all this stuff and digging up that backyard. For what? It was too cold. The case was cold. They were so busy staring at me. And I'm like...
Well, the reason they were probably doing that, I hate to interrupt you, but the reason they were doing that is they were looking for a terrorist, ploys of terrorists. They said I was a threat to Barack Obama. They were trying to make these terrorists in Pueblo, Colorado. We're not the only ones. There were a lot of people, they started staging these innocent people were terrorists because they were taking chemicals and they were doing a bunch of terrorist things, and they were hoping to have a fall person for it, that they could say, this person did it, not us. And then that's what they were trying to do, is trying to frame you. So that's why you have to hold your tongue when you're screaming at FBI or talking, because they'll say, see, they called, they're angry, and they'll be framing you. And so don't do that anymore. Just get in your car and scream.
I haven't since 2012. Since November 20th of 2012, I haven't done that, you know?
Okay, good.
But in my recordings, it's Heidi. It's deep. You just don't know. This stuff is... People don't realize how the government can always terrorize the terrorists. Like I'm saying, why are you terrorizing me and you're claiming I'm the terrorist, but they're terrorizing you into doing something wrong and illegal and acting out.
Yep.
But,
well, what kind of recordings do you have? Maybe we should start putting them on YouTube and start spreading this stuff everywhere.
Every time I go to do a recording, they shut down my kid's laptop. They shut down the iPod. I can't get anywhere. They even shut down my email and everything. I can't seem to get anywhere. And then I saw your postings, and I'm like, dang, I'm not the Lone Ranger. So, and I know they're doing things to you, like saying, we saw her try to commit suicide, when it wasn't even true.
Right.
And the police,
the police and the courts are the ones making the mean comments on YouTube. Nobody else is. It's only the actors who kidnapped them and who are getting checks, and they're the criminals. And they're trying to play this thing, and then they try to act like we're all alone and we're mentally ill and crazy. We're not crazy. There's gobs of us.
And that's a shame, because people tend to believe them and what they say because they're the law.
Well, it's only because they have a uniform. Yep.
That's always true. I wish I could get a chance to speak with you, but I don't know if that's going to endanger you too, so that's why I didn't. I just laid back for a while. But I'm getting pretty tired of it.
What initiated your guys' problems with the police?
What happened was my daughter passed away from opiate overdose, okay? And the doctor cut me loose because he suggested to them, she's doing this with her pills. I don't want to no longer be her physician, so I'm going to cut her loose. DEA stepped in and take her off her medication. And I was like, oh my God, they get you hooked on these pills, but yet they just want to snatch them away from you, right? Mm-hmm. So I had went to the death of my daughter, and that just overwhelmed me. Then they told me, he's not going to be your physician no more. I go, well, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I just lashed out because I knew it was the DEA. So when I just said, F the police, F the DEA, F the CIA, the FBI, I became terrorist watch list on the federal terrorist watch list. And that's where it all started. So then they started harassing my kids at school, from Roncalli to South to Central to Bowl Academy. They start harassing my family. Everything just started like...
Who's they? The Pueblo Police Department?
It's federal, so if it's from the feds up top, they'll trickle it down to the police department.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all in...
So you never went into a federal building with a gun or said, I'm going to kill you?
Girl, Lord, no. All I did was cuss them out over the phone, and that gave them grounds to put me on the federal watch.
Okay, so you never said you were going to bomb them or hurt them or anything. You were just mad trying to get hurt.
No, it didn't even get that far.
Okay, good.
It never got nothing like that. I just cussed them out, but I became, even from those actions, I became on the terrorist watch list.
Uh-huh.
And ever since then, I've been terrorized by them to do something wrong, but I've been just holding strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we say, is that they try to provoke you. And then say, you have a problem because you don't like it? We're like, what, we're supposed to like being tormented and our children abused and you trying to kill us? We're supposed to just accept it and be okay with it? If we're not okay, then we're mentally ill? Or we're terrorists? It's sick.
You know what's going on. So then they start harassing people at my bank and stuff like that, and it's just getting a little overwhelming.
Did you save all your documentation? recording everything.
Everything, even the people at the bank, even the school.
Everyone.
Gosh. So I should have recorded Dalton Sprouse when he gave me that song and dance about the meetings and stuff.
What happened with Dalton Sprouse? I know Dalton
He
Sprouse.
works at District 60.
Right.
Yeah. But, okay, I'm going to have to get that going because I'm getting pretty tired of it.
Yeah.
Just for my family and my kids. And they contact my family and to turn on me, don't be, record, listen to this is what's going on, she's a terrorist, blah, 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 blah. And these are my kids, my husband. I mean, they're talking to everybody.
Right. Well, and just so you know, I record everything, okay?
Oh, honey, that's fine.
Okay,
that's
are you
fine.
okay if I put this on YouTube?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I think the more that we all join together, the more they see that we're all linking and that we're all serious, that we want change and that we're fed up with it.
Oh, yeah. I just wish I could have did a real video of YouTube, but I'll take what I can get.
All right.
Real. I'm just pretty much sick of the whole deal.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, what all have you filed? Have you filed a bunch of documents?
See, when I went to that John Poppy that dealt with the District 60 when Constance Jones quit the job and just bounced on everybody, District 60, he goes, go to the police and file a report. I'm like, dude, the police are the ones that, they're not going to give me they're not going to let me file a report.
Were they trying to take your children and put them in juvenile prison?
No, but they were doing, they were forcing me out of each school, like my granddaughter was missing 51 days of school, and just harassing her there, forcing me to give up her IEP, treating her bad, not letting her have her civil rights as a disabled student. It's been going, I have so many things to tell you that it's just stacked up on top of stacked up on top. The ARC here, whether the ARC some kind of way, the ARC wouldn't even advocate for my daughter. The ARC was advocating for the federal feds, the federal watch list.
Wow.
He wouldn't even advocate for my daughter.
Do you mind putting it all in a letter and sending me a letter, have it notarized, so it confirms who you are, and I'll put it in a whole big class action thing, and I'll send it right to Donald Trump and say, look, we want martial law. We want this stuff stopped. And then have everybody else write letters, but make sure it's notarized, where you go to the bank, the Wells Fargo will do it for free, and they just...
I'm not a member of Wells Fargo.
They don't care. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Or you can go down to the USPS store, the post office, UPS store. And you can, for $5, they'll notarize it. But the reason why notary is so important is that then they can't say that it's not you and that it's just a hearsay document. It's very legally, it's more upstanding for your letter. Now, don't incriminate yourself with anything. Just say, this date and time, they were going after my children. This date and time, they were threatening us. This date and time, we were stalked by the sheriffs. I believe
we were harassed.
Our phones are tapped. Yes.
Right.
And just make an itemized list. Don't go into details so you don't incriminate yourself. Just an itemized list.
Where do I start first? I've been
start from the beginning.
From Cricket, from the District 60, from the Academy Bank, from...
Yep.
Where do I start?
Start from the beginning. 2000, when did it start?
2012 November 20th of 2012.
Okay, so start there, and then start making an itemized thing as much as you can every day, and start linking everything that you remember, and then you can say my phone was being illegally monitored, we were being stalked by the police, we, just everything, even lists, I called the FBI this date, I called or it was around this time.
I never contacted them because they're the ones that the federal watch list has me on.
Okay, so what I would do is ask them for a copy of the federal watch list. It's your Freedom of Information.
And where do I get that at?
You would have to file a CORA document. And so you'll have to call the FBI and say, I want to file a CORA document. Do you have a specific CORA document for getting the watch list? and then they'll direct you where, because it's your right to have, and then you fill it out and you just mail it back to them or fax it to them, and you tell them you want a copy of the list with your name on the terrorist list. And once you have that, you could actually get an international attorney for it being a violation of the war laws. And I would ask...
So nothing with like civil rights, just international attorney with a violation of...
Yeah, but first you got to start with CORA, and then file it with the FBI.
C-O-R-A?
C-O-R-A, yep.
Okay.
And then you file it here with the Denver FBI, ask them to give that to you. If they don't have it, then you call the Secret Service and ask them for their document to obtain the terrorist list with your name on it. And then they're usually pretty good about getting back. They got back to me right away, and they made a list, even though Pueblo lied. Because I'm assuming Pueblo lied on you, because they lied about me and said I was a terrorist. When I asked the Secret Service to do a background check on me, and if I was a terrorist, they wrote me a letter right away and said, you are not a threat to the president whatsoever. And so Pueblo is just lying about all these people, trying to stage a fall person. So I have this gut feeling that they did the same thing to you, and that you're thinking that you're on this list that you're not on, because Pueblo wants to terrorize you and to basically brainwash you and sway the people here that you're a bad person when you're not. So the best part is to ask Secret Service, and they're usually pretty good. They were forthright to me. So write them and say, this is what Pueblo said about me. I would like to know. Can you please send me the documents, or call them, ask them what federal document you need to get a copy of the list.
Okay, so I just call the Secret Service and the FBI to ask for the address and to send me a list.
Yes, call the Secret Service in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, when I go online, they keep shutting it down, saying there's nothing here, there's nothing here. Oh, no,
yeah.
The website is disappeared. No, that's what they tell. The website is disappeared. There's no website for that.
No, they do that to me, too, quite a bit, and that just means that your internet is tapped, and you need to turn that into the FBI, because somebody's evading and encrypting the websites, so you can't get through to ring for help to the top. That doesn't mean that they're after you at all. That's a fake front. They tried doing that to me too.
But the thing is so bad, it's so bad that through the cable, it's through all of it. I mean, they're all in cahoots doing this, and they don't seem to mind it all.
Yeah.
So,
but just remember this, there are more good than bad, and they're getting a lot of the bad ones out. Even though you don't see it on Fox News, they have printed a lot of stuff publicly that they are firing them left and right. They just fired another slew of 3,000 of them.
Are you outside?
Yeah, I'm outside. Yes.
Are you outside?
Yes, that's why it's windy. Yeah.
I can't even hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm outside. It's a little windy. So keep my number. Keep in touch with me. Let me give you my address.
Okay.
I have a P.O. box, and I want you to write me. I want you to get that whole list, but I can't do anything with it unless you get it notarized.
I won't know next. I'll make sure to get it notarized.
Okay, so do you have a pen?
Oh, I'm getting ready.
Okay.
P.O. Box?
P.O. Box 8046, Colorado Springs.
Oh, you're all the way in Springs?
Uh-huh. That's where my P.O. Box is.
Okay. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
80933.
80933. Okay, so where do you want me to start with first? The letter, or do you want me to do date by date? Oh, no, I get a date by date loaded.
I want you to give me a summary brief just saying your name is da-da-da-da. You live in Pueblo, Colorado, or wherever you live.
Okay.
Make sure you have your name, address on their contact number, and then state you've been a victim.
Okay.
You've been a victim of all of this organized crime, and that you want it known. And that way too, The other thing is if something happens to you, we have a paper that we can go to the feds and say, look, this guy was murdered, and this family's been terrorized, and he's not a terrorist. This has been going on. We have a notarized letter from him. Do you see? So in essence, it's going to protect you if something happens.
Do you know about a sneak peek? You know what that is? Hello?
No, I don't.
Yeah, sneak peek is when they go in your house when you're not even at home and they set stuff up. So I found some, mics and stuff, picture mics and stuff, because my landlord doesn't mind. He doesn't mind that they come in and stuff because they're all afraid. But anyway, I found all those things, right? And they were like totally pissed at me. Oh my God, they really started coming down on me then. But I don't know. I'll just hold on to them. I'll just hold on to those.
Okay. Well, it's your choice, and you don't have to write a letter if you don't want to. But we're more than happy to.
Letter. Okay. I got to do something. I can't keep going on like this forever and ever, man.
Well, if they keep terrorizing you, you need.
I can't get a civil rights attorney either, so I got to do
Most of them just don't know how to handle something this big. You need an international attorney who does war laws or major political corruption. This is bigger than just the police.
Too?
Huh?
Is that all on the internet too? Because everything I go to shuts down. So.
Yep. You might have to try different servers.
Yeah. All right, Heidi.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling.
Doctor.